And welcome to this episode of The Dental Guys. I'm Wes, the Dental Guy.
And I'm John, the Dental Guy. Wes, I noticed you have your glasses on because I'm guessing you have had a shower or four since you got home from work. Have you ever taken this many showers in your life? Because I know I haven't.
Actually,
I like taking a shower, But
well, I don't know.
I've never
you
taken
probably,
this many showers in my life.
You know as well as I know. You know me as well as I know you. And I generally take a couple showers a day. I've been that kind of guy for years. And
You're a clean man. It's a good thing.
I haven't taken this many showers, John, since Cadaver Lab.
I mean, when the corona is in the air, it's like when spring is in the air, except this is bad situation. So
and
I mean,
say this. How many times have you used the word or the acronym PPE in a day?
Man. I just want every time those 3 letters come out of my mouth, it's started to become.
Can I punch a wall?
Kind of just every day you come in and you walk into your area, whatever that is, and you see all, like, I don't know about you, but I have all these command hooks now in my office that I never had before. Oh. All these command hooks.
Yeah.
And they're all over the wall and they're all over my office now. I'm trying to find places because now I got, 63 gowns and I got 4 or 5 different types of eye protection, depending upon what I'm doing. Is it aerosol generating? Is it not? Mm-hmm. Need magnification? Do I need magnification plus light? Do I need, what do I need? So, I mean, it's like all these hooks are everywhere. And then you have flying debris and aerosol that is coating your body. And you know what? So the question is, Wes, have you survived? Have you survived the first bit here? Because for me, I'm almost through my first week back, and we have been making it. And you know what? I'm pretty proud of my team because they have overcome a lot of anxiety, and a lot of that's because we got the gear, right? I'm not, if you don't have the gear, they're going to be anxious.
We're going to show you what we got.
Just wait.
Let me show you what we got. Right? Because we got
but
gear.
Let me ask you, how long does it? Okay. So we have to make this funny because if we don't joke about it, we're going to cry. Okay. So guys, don't take this. If you're all serious,
I've got a great story, man. I got 2. Yeah. I got 2 great ones.
Good. Because today, okay, the last few episodes, Wes, we've done have been too serious. And I mean, we're all about the serious. But if you start to dwell on this whole thing.
Hey, wait. We're both wearing T-shirts tonight.
Yeah, there's something going on.
There's something going on here.
We're both in T-shirts.
How long has it been? How long has it been since you've seen my glasses?
I haven't worn a T-shirt on the podcast in a long time, man.
In a couple months.
Because instead of us sitting home and planning 63 podcasts, I'm like on the way home from the office, hey man, like I'm dead. You want to do a podcast? Okay, I guess so. I threw on whatever after I took a 4th shower, And here's my big dilemma. At the end of the day, I was going to go run, and I'm like, do I take a shower and then run and then take another shower?
That's one of my stories.
Okay,
that's one of my stories.
So what's your story?
I got 3 now because you reminded me of the 3rd one.
Oh, all right.
So yesterday I came home.
I promise we're going to review a face shield, okay? But we have some stories.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate the followers of the Dental Guys.
Yeah.
And we appreciate all those that have liked and shared and all those things. And that means a ton to us.
Yes.
We could not be who we are without you. So thank you so much for joining us. It helps us, right? Because to keep going, because you guys are sharing and liking, and we enjoy that. Right? Because what that means is that you're getting something from this. So there has to be a value to this, and the value's coming. Okay? So for just some interesting stories here. So I come home. I'd been exposed. Right? Of course, I'm leaving.
Wait, don't say it like that. You've been exposed.
Right?
Don't say you've been exposed.
I've been
Everyone
exposed.
out there is like, what? Exposed to what? You mean that you have been in a aerosol environment.
Yes, I've been in aerosol generating procedures. Rims.
Okay.
Rims.
Rims.
So I come home and I'm like you. I'm like, I haven't wanted to get up early and run. Normally I've been running in the morning and exercising in the morning. And yesterday I came home and Laura said, you need to go upstairs. I said, and shower. And I'm like, why? I'm going to go get sweaty. She was like, go and shower.
So you took 2 showers in a row. You took a shower and then you ran and then you took another.
Yes.
I did the same thing.
Oh my word.
I came home today. I didn't know what to do. I was frozen. I came home. What else awesome? I went to Costco. This is embarrassing. All right. I knew that I needed my scrubs off at the office, right? Put them in a bag, change into clothes, come home, and then shower, which is reasonable. But here's the thing. What do you do with those clothes? What do you do with those clothes that you change into and you bring home? Do you just put them right in the washer too?
Yeah.
Because they're not like clean. You put them on your aerosol laden body. So I went to Costco, okay, and I like cheapest, most cheap jeans. They were $10, dude.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
And Kara, my wife, I love her, but I bought, I had to get, it was still kind of cold here. So I got 2 outfits. I got basically like white shirt and a polo. And then I got a tracksuit type of tracksuit, sweatshirt type of thing. And she's like, you look like a New Yorker. She's like, you look like name should be like Jimmy with like a gold. I'm like, come on.
Did it have stripes on it?
Break. So I count. Oh, it's Puma, and it has like the stripes on the side. So I spent a grand total of like $15 times 5 because I wanted to have enough for each day. All right. So then I put these clothes on. I throw those clothes immediately in the wash with my scrubs. And I'm like, wait, I'm going to go run. Do I shower now? Same thing. I took a shower and then I ran and then I showered. And it's funny because I ran into 2 of my team members. They were on like the little walking trail where I was running.
Right. Did they shower? And
I think they were in the same dilemma, man. This is the world we live in now. It's a question of how many showers a day do you want to take? How do you handle this? This is crazy. I mean, so I just like this is actually my team is really awesome, and our patience. And I think part of this because we've got stuff and we've doing all of our checks and we're doing all of our screening. They are so far very positive. There's been a few that we're not seeing people over a certain age, so we haven't we've tried to screen out certain people, but the people that have come in so far they've been pretty positive. Have you had the same kind of feel?
Yeah.
Or, how's it going with your team? How are your patients doing?
The team has been amazing, right? They have rallied around what I've came back and prepared to do and all the things leading up to this. They have been such a joy to be around and so positive, right? Let me just tell you what I'm doing, right? Is not only am I coming back from COVID, but I'm onboarding 2 new team members, right?
Right, I know.
Which we were looking for a new assistant before this ended, right, before this began. And we, fortunately, we interviewed someone that we really liked the day that we got shut down. And I called her 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, let's go." And she's like, "I'm ready." And she's we dump her into this fire. It's her first job, and she's just been super positive. Of course, you never know when you walk into a new job what it's going to be like. And just everybody, I've got a girl coming off of maternity leave. That's been 6 months since she's been back. And they've just all been fantastic. We have this little texting string going, and it's just been super positive. Everybody's
we've had some fun little texts back and forth with fact just tonight. People are talking about just trying to, because again, you can have 2, we've talked about this on the show before, but you can have 2 approaches to life, right? You can either be afraid, and I'm not saying we shouldn't be afraid or be careful or cautious and all those things. But you can live in that world all the time where you can try to go, look, we're going to use each other's energy in as positive ways we can.
Listen,
and we're going to try to bring that every day and just try to build each other up. And I mean, that's all you can do. And you got to have the right gear. You got to show people how to use it. I mean, how long does it take? I'll tell you, at the end of a procedure, I'm still struggling with what do I take on. I know how to don and doff gear. Okay. I understand.
Dentistry
but dentistry is different because you have loops and you have lights and you have multiple layers of different things you're wearing. And it depends on the procedure and it depends on like what all you have on. So I'm like, sometimes I have like the full gown, my respirator, I have my face shield, I have and then sometimes I don't. So like I have to think, I'm still having to think about how I take off. Like putting on the stuff's not that bad, but taking it off, you have to be so careful to think about it, like hand sanitizing constantly as I'm taking stuff off. And it takes me a good couple minutes just to get stuff off of there and go to the next room. And that's where the I think perfect segue into talking about what we're going to talk about tonight, because there's a few things you have to have in your practice now. You have to, right? And we're only going to cover one of those tonight because there's several we could talk about. Because you guys are probably interested in what we're doing for respirators too, and we'll talk about that on another show.
Yeah,
because we're doing some things. But the face shield, Wes, we got I mean, when I heard this was coming, you and I both started looking, and we were both super concerned about two or three things. One was, first of all, just wearing the stupid thing, but mainly it was, is it going to fit over our loops and our lights? That was huge. And is it going to be something that we can basically like breathe in? You know, how confining is it going to be? Is it going to be in the way of me as I move my hands around? Am I going to bump into it? And so we get a call from the Dental Crafters Network. And as you guys know, they're a sponsor of the show, so full disclosure, but you know, they make some good stuff. And Brad says, hey, you know, I've got this design. I think it was actually original design by Prusa, Joseph Prusa, who's one of the main 3D printing godfathers. And Carbon Printers was printing these things, and they started printing them on their carbons. And he said, yeah, I think it's a really good design. And now it's mass produced, it's injection molded, high level. And I've been wearing this thing for about a week and a half now. I mean, we went back this week to where we could actually do elective stuff. Last week, it was all emergencies. You've been wearing it a few days as well. So let's talk about it. I think a good way to maybe introduce it is let me put it on.
So let me just tell you a little bit about this thing is that the way that it is made to be extra lightweight. And the very first thing that I noticed when it put it on, as John is putting it on here, is how lightweight it is. And every team member said that, okay? Every team member, when they put this thing on, they're like, man, actually it's kind of lightweight. And the interesting thing, as John's kind of turning to the side, there's a couple things that are interesting here about the shield, is that the way it was designed in actually a couple of pieces, okay? So, John, what I want you to do is I want you to take off the actual extender piece, and I want you to show that, because this is the key here. Not everyone in your office that wears a face shield needs space for loops.
Right.
Okay.
So here's the design. If you don't have the extender on, okay, if you don't have the extender on, it looks like this. And this is actually the original design, I think, that Prusa had. It's basically 3 prongs here where you can put the face shield on. And then it's got a band here. Now there's a little bit of an offset. The distance basically from here to here is how far off of your face this thing is.
Right.
So
with
that's
this, enough. Yeah.
And that's enough if you don't have loops on. You know, if
right.
you don't
That's
have
enough
loops
for
on,
an N95. That's enough for actually a full half-face respirator.
And like if you wanted to put safety glasses on, but a respirator you can fit on there. But the genius of this thing is they put a little extender on which clips off. So let me clip it off here. So you take it off like this, And this piece here will go on and extend this an extra, probably inch and a half further on past where you were. So now you have an inch and a half more, and that gets it over your loops. So it gets it not only over your 2.5s, but it gets it over the Designs for Vision expanded field that Wes and I have, the 4.5s or 6.0s. And you got some pictures, right, of you wearing it, don't you?
I'm going to put those up here just a minute. Many of you are probably thinking about what is that band in the back, and that is an adjustable band. It's the easiest thing in the world to adjust. Once you get it set, you don't have to touch it ever again. And it's latex free, from what I understand. So that's great. So I'm going to pull up some pictures.
Well, and you know what it's from? It's Fast Fact, which I thought was great. You know what they made this from? Because the hospitals, they were trying to find ways to manufacture these quickly. This is the same material used in tourniquets that they use when they draw your blood. That's so right. It's the same elasticity. That way, at hospitals, when they had these, they could easily, quickly replace them if you need it, if one broke. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, here it is. There it is.
Yeah,
with all gear in the world.
Let's zoom on it in a little bit here. Let's see if I can pop it up a little bit closer for everybody to kind of see how this works. Okay, so I wear a 6.0 Designs for Vision loop. Okay, now which is one of the longest telescopes, I think, John, that is available right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also have a Designs for Vision LED cordless or wireless headlamp. Now, here's the interesting thing, okay? Headlamps, and we're going to get into that a little bit. It's going to be a little interesting working with headlamps inside of, a face shield. But as concerning the face shield, if you have this Designs for Vision style light, you're not going to run or these loops, you're not going to run into any problems as far as the light touching the shield. There's enough distance there for the 6.0s with that lamp on there.
Yep.
The issue that you might run into is you see where the battery is actually setting, and it actually does set. You actually have to I'm going to kind of pull a side shot here. You can actually see it right here. And we'll get into that little clip thing there that I've got going on. But you see up in that upper part of the screen right there, you see how the battery just sets to the inside of that. So once you get everything kind of set, okay, it actually works perfectly, right? It fits right up inside of there. Now, John, I want you to talk a little bit about, before we get into this whole amber situation here, all right, I want you to talk a little bit about what it's like looking through another piece of film, right?
Yeah.
And how it is looking through this after it's brand new, and then after we've cleaned it like a million times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. These are cleanable, or these are, sprayable. You can spray and wipe these down, which is really nice. They're not disposable, which I've seen people using the disposable ones, which are fine, but gosh, it's a lot of money to have disposable ones. And these are, by the way, like they're $10. I just want to go ahead and put that out there.
$10.
I've seen people spending $40 plus for reusable ones. These are $10, which is a steal. But in terms of using these, how they work, when you're looking through a curved bit of plastic, there can be a little bit of distortion. I think it's probably worse, from what I'm hearing, for people that have lower mag, because your loops are further away from the film. That's what Designs for Vision is saying. They actually came out with a face shield that's flat, and they're saying it just minimizes distortions. And I think that probably the further your loops are away from this thing, it may create more, and probably the lower mag you have, maybe the more of an issue. That's been my experience.
Yeah.
But if you clean it, depending on what disinfectant you use, it can leave some streaks. So you do have to use like 4x4 gauze and get it, disinfect it, and then maybe put some water on it and clean it off if you want it to be totally clean. And that affects your light too. So there is maybe it's not going to give you the absolute crispest that you could have. Not just this face shield, any face shield, because it is another layer of that could distort the optics. But I don't really think it's been a big problem for me. I really haven't noticed. It's not something where I'm going, oh, that's a problem. I would say it's more of an issue, and we can talk about the light. It's a little bit more of an issue with the light because you do lose some light intensity with any face shield, right? But with this one, there's some things you can do. I posted a quick video the other day talking about this issue because depending on which light you have and how it works, if you're looking through this or any shield I've seen, this one is actually better because it's open at the top. Some of the shields I've seen, Wes, the disposables, it's all foam. And there's no breathability up there at all. No. Which, I mean, you're already not breathing. Come on, give yourself a little breathability. But if you wanted to turn your light, like your light, Wes, you have to touch it to turn it on or off. But for all of us who are using composite filters on our lights,
I had to take my composite filter off.
Yeah,
because
you can't reach it. You can't reach it.
You can't reach it.
Well, yours is almost touching.
It's almost touching here, and so and so it had to come off because every time you put the face shield on, which you couldn't use it anyway. So another thing, and just as you bring it up, and I'm gonna let you continue with the whole light situation, is you see the silver ring on this light. That's how you turn it on and turn it off. Okay. So what if your battery goes dead during your procedure? How do you change that out? Well, so the cool thing about this is because this is open. Yeah. I had somebody actually change my light today without taking my PPE off.
That's cool.
So
if you're using the Designs for Vision wireless,
yes,
you can change the battery while you're working.
And
that's pretty cool.
And someone actually reached down in there, and they were actually able to position my light a little bit without me having to derobe.
Take everything off.
Everything off.
And and somebody just asked as we're talking, so these are available through Argon Dental USA. Dental Crafters Network is kind of the big company, but Argon Dental USA is who's selling this. Just so you know, as we're talking, because you may want to be going to their website, and that is just argondentalusa.com. So the thing that I found, and Wes and I are both working on different solutions too. You can see this is a cool solution that Wes is working on. We'll talk about that more. He's perfecting this composite filter. We're both trying to figure out ways to deal with the composite light filter, because for me it was really a deal breaker. I have to have this thing to work on composite in the dark is really hard for me now that I'm so used to it. And Wes has got his solution. What I did, I showed this video the other day, but I actually rigged up, I have it here. This is a prototype of the Dental Crafters Network or the Argon face shield. So this is a 3D printed version. So this is before they injection molded them, and it's 3D printed, so it's got a different color to it, but it's the same design. And what I did is I mounted a second light. I had a second light, and I mounted a second light on it so I could have my composite filter on this light. So I've got my loop light still on here. It's just white light, and I leave it on white. I don't touch it. And when I'm ready to work on my composite, I use my belt pack. I turn off the inside light, and then I turn this, and I just flip my composite filter down. So I've kind of got like a separate, plus I guess you could use this light without loops if you were doing something where you didn't want magnification, but you still wanted light. And the cool thing about this frame is it's stout enough. It's stout enough that you can mount a little U bracket on there, which was sold by my light company. Lumident happens to be the light that I'm using here. And it mounted right on there and with no problem. And it's real sturdy. So I think that, that you're going to have to figure out your light situation depending on what light you have and whether or not you need an additional light, or whether you can rig something up to be a composite filter for you, or whether maybe you have one of those fancy LED lights in the ceiling that has an orange setting and you can just turn it on orange and you don't even need all this. That's cool. But the feedback that I'm getting, one of my assistants told me she prefers, now that she's worn the face shield for a few days, she prefers the face shield over her original safety glasses that she had on, because it's just more breathable. It's not as she doesn't. Now I will say, only thing I don't like about it, and this is any face shield, is I'm just not used to having this thing. So when I turn my head, I can bounce and hit my gown or my shoulder, and then when I'm trying to grab stuff, I'm not used to having that in my face, and I've hit myself with my mirror a couple times on the shield.
Well, normally
but I think that's just like anything.
Normally I use my like Explorer to like scratch my ear and
Yeah, what a shame you can't do that anymore, man.
You can't do that anymore. But no, I mean, it's a face shield, people, right? It's not. Yeah. It's super. Like, this is the simplest thing. Like again, it's lightweight. It fits what we've worked through. I mean, like, the team that we use has loops of all different shapes and sizes. And for the most part, everything has been pretty much kind of like the same as far as like if we're working through issues. If you have like a 2.5 loop, you might see some distortion here, right?
Right.
If you
and how big this thing is, it's pretty big,
right?
So it goes over, it goes down to your chin for sure. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to be, down when you're looking down at the patient, it seals to your gown is what I'm finding.
So you can actually see that right there in the, on the
it's not too long. It's not too long. I've never hit my chin.
Spot on for me. It really is spot on for me. And, I'm working through this prototype right now. This is just something that I've kind of put together with, basically stuff out of the kitchen and some amber lights. But essentially, awesome. What this does is it is a little plastic clip that I actually cut out and shaped to fit in the groove and in the little thing. So the assistant just reaches up and just clips that on when we're going into using our bond, and it stays on. And then I took a knife out of the kitchen.
Look at that MacGyver stuff there, man. That's some MacGyver stuff.
Hey, just used a hot glue gun and glued this together. Now I'm going to work on a final design this weekend and actually shape it and cut it. And I'm going to wrap it so it's in vinyl and it can be cleaned and disinfected appropriately. But we worked through some things today with it. I'm going to change the clip design and all that. But the thing that was great about it is that it could come off and on, and I can have one in each op, right? And while this one's being disinfected, another. So another thing too is like some of these face shields are super expensive, and I want to say this again: $10. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what we do is, because I don't have a light hook to the face shield like you do, John, is I have a face shield that has my name on the inside of it, because we have a lot of team members. And so when I walk in the room, I'm able to, put that face shield for that room on. When I go do my hygiene check, I walk in and put that face shield, which is clean, onto my head.
Yeah. And let me say something on that. You're going to need more than one face shield. I found that out real quick. I ordered enough. I don't know why, but I stupidly only ordered one per person initially. And as soon as I got them, I was like, what am I thinking? I'm gonna need to leave one in the room so that my assistant can spray it, or if you're a hygienist, so that you're gonna have to spray that one. Yeah, but if you had another one that was clean, that you can have maybe two, you can just immediately go on to the next patient and get that thing cleaned up. Especially for the doctors, having two at least is critical. Maybe even more. You might want to have one in the hall that's clean, for checking hygiene or whatever. So yeah, I think you probably need at least two per person, Wes. Don't you think at least two?
That's what we're doing, is we're doing two per person, and we have plenty. The Dental Crafters has these or actually Argon Dental. I keep saying that. Argon Dental has these in stock right now. It's full disclosure here. They sent us these to test.
They sent us the prototype.
right?
Yeah.
And then we just gave them feedback. John gave them feedback, and then they sent us more for our team to try and to kind of work through the things. So full disclosure, and then we also bought some. We also bought some.
Oh yeah.
Right?
No, we've bought them. You know, they sent us some prototypes, but we've bought them. And I would say there's no, now the only other designs that I've seen that so some people are going, all right, so what other designs are there out there? I've seen the ones that flip up. I'm not really sure why you would want that.
Well, because right now you can't. Like, when are you going to flip that up?
Why would you want to flip up your
As soon as you get up and leave the room, this has to come off. It's contaminated.
I mean, what's the point of a flip up? If you flip it up, what are you going to do? Flip up to maybe put your composite filter down, but now you've contaminated your loops. So I'm not really sure if that's the best. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I guess I think the flip up thing's good if you don't really need the face shield, but if you need the face shield, it should be down.
That's like a welder's mask, right? That's like the classic flip up welder's mask. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying, why would you need that? And that adds more weight, right? So again, I keep coming back to the weight issue. Listen, today, here's my story. I sit down and I put all this stuff on, and I'm sitting here and I'm making sure it's all right. And you're sitting here with your hands and you're doing this number, right? You're doing this number more than you ever have. And when you're doing that, what you're doing is you're making sure your focal length's right, making sure your clarity's right. You're going to do that with face shields a lot more. So do that before you walk into the room, before you put your gloves on. Everything's on. You're getting ready to put your gloves on. Just check it. Just check it. Everything's good. Now I'm ready to put my gloves on. So I walk in and I sit down. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not a claustrophobic guy because I like caving and I like spelunking. But I started this transitional bonding case today, and I knew it was going to be a longer procedure. And I was like, whoa, wait a second here now, And I backed up, and I had to step out of the room, and I had to take it all off, not my gown, but I had to take everything in my face off, my gloves, everything had to come off. And then I had to go right back on with it again, and just after like a few seconds. We've
had a couple people this week are feeling it for sure with claustrophobia. And I did the first time I wore the half face respirator. That's a whole other show. Wes showed it in there, these 3M half face respirators, whole other show. But when you put that on and your breathing's definitely constricted, it's definitely going to seal. It fit checks, even if you haven't had it fit check. And then you get your loops and then you get your face shield. It's definitely a different world, man. It's definitely a different world. But I think honestly, and this is true, honest truth here, the easiest thing that I've had to transition to is the face shield.
Yep.
Easy. Now, if it didn't have an open top that would breathe, I think it'd be more of an issue. We're hot as heck as we're working, so having the breathability is really nice. I think that the gowns combine, these big gowns combined with the new masks are the hardest part for me. Like it's confining, and I think it's going to take time for us to get over that. But the face shield side, you just want one that's going to be out of your way, that's going to not be super heavy. And I like the fact that it's adaptable for the assistants or hygienists who don't wear loops. Hopefully hygienist assistants, most of them are wearing loops, but if you're not, you can get one that's up close. Somebody asked the question too. Get them now because these things are flying, obviously.
I think last time I heard they'd sent like over 2,000 out, maybe more.
Yeah, they're making a ton.
They're making a ton.
And somebody asked the question, and we can't address this too much on the show, but somebody asked the question.
I saw it too. I'm like, are we going to answer that?
Ignore it. Why do you need a shield for hygiene checks? So I would refer you to osha.gov/sltc/COVID-19/dentistry.html. We're trying to follow OSHA guidelines, right? And OSHA guidelines say for well patients that are not aerosol generating, you need eye protection. Eye protection, meaning goggles, face mask. I know loop companies are trying to come up with interesting solutions to make their loops fully sealed. Designs for Vision just released a fully sealed, like almost like swim goggle insert for some of their new loops. You can't get it to retrofit yet. I hope they'd make that because that'd be awesome. It's still a question to me whether loops are sufficient as eye protection. And I don't think they really are goggles per se. So yeah, sometimes. So I think you might want to consider a face shield. All I'm going to say is you may want to consider a face shield.
Well, I mean, right here it is, John. You're looking at it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you see it.
I mean, why are my hygienists wearing face shields when they do hand scaling?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you ever blow air in the hygiene room out of the air water syringe tip?
Right. Let's not go too far down this rabbit hole, right? Because I think everybody that's listening to the show knows knows how we feel. We just are trying to follow the chart, guys. We're just trying to follow it. We're not saying you're a bad person if you don't do everything. We're just saying we're trying. We're trying.
Hopefully it won't be long, right? It won't be long, and we'll have better PPE. We'll have more PPE. We'll have more engineering that'll go into all these things. Hopefully,
right?
We'll see this start to take off a little bit.
And I think we will.
Yeah.
I think we'll see some of it. And you know what else? I'm just going to give a little special little preview here of another product. So I wanted to get some goggles because I wanted to try goggles right
Shall
now.
I show them? Shall I show them?
You have the picture?
I have the picture here, John. I brought it up just thinking that you would want me to show it.
Well, I just want so if you are thinking, well, okay, goggles or a face shield, what about goggles? And I thought, well, I'm not bringing in the Speedo swim goggles because then I'll look like a real, we're not going to go there. So not wearing swim goggles. They got to be more pro looking. So all medical goggles are totally sold out. Trust me, because I have looked. All right. If you want to get medical grade 3M goggles or whatever, they're gone. So a friend who is actually big into cooking, we were talking about this, and she said to me, "Hey,
let me know when you're ready, because I'm ready."
Do you know that there are goggles for cutting onions? I swear.
This is why I love you,
what are you talking about? She's like, when you cut onions, it makes you cry. So there are goggles for this, and you should check them out. So I went and checked them out on Amazon.
Here we go.
They are goggles, and I ordered them. I was like, I'll see what they're all about. And you know what? They're pretty sweet. They're goggles. They have like a Velcro. Yeah, put it up. Roll that beautiful bean footage. That's the extreme close-up. Oh, man.
I was like, John.
You can even see the reflection of my like papers on my desk there.
As we're working through our day, I said, John, how are you taking your initial 6, your photography with your camera? Because you got to get your camera up to your eyeball. Like, how do you do that in a face shield? Right? And you're spraying air in there, right? You're spraying air in there. And so John sends me this picture, and I'm like, no, where did you get those?
Super nerd. I got onion cutting goggles. Now, I'm not going to say that these are like the solution to the problem, okay? Because I'm testing them. I'm trying to get the best seal I can. As you can see, if you look at this picture, they're not perfectly sealed. So I'm still trying to mess with it. I don't know if you have to have a perfect seal. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I see the medical ones don't have a perfect seal either. They're not like custom fit, to everybody. They're a one size fits all. I think they're as good as anything. Probably. I don't know. I'm playing with them, but they're definitely pretty sweet. They don't look totally ridiculous. No, and plus, cool, if they don't work for you, you can go home and cut as many onions as you want.
I like them.
No tears guaranteed.
I like them, John. I like them. Hey, listen. Argon Dental USA, get it now, right? They're flying off the shelves because you know what? They're a good shield. It's a good shield, and we're not just the only ones.
It's a good shield for a good price.
It's an amazing shield, and I really want you guys to go get some now. They're $10. Give them some love.
Tell them the dental guys sent you.
Yeah, man. Tell them the dental guys sent you, right? Yeah, check it out there one more time. It's got an open top design there, which I love for ventilation, and they fit my massive 6's. I mean, I didn't know.
You're gonna say your massive head.
Well, maybe that too.
I got a big head. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Okay, you must be on the farthest strap away then. All right.
I'm down to the third to last strap hole.
I don't know that we can tell on mine, but yeah, big heads.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
heads,
we got
fat
big
heads.
Fat heads.
They fit.
But
Hey,
I think too, you know, one of the things we're going to keep doing as we're getting into this PPE and gear is we're going to keep trying to give you guys quality reviews of stuff we're actually using in our actual practice, because
how many of you
that's
all
what you
want
guys
us
need.
to, John, let me say this. How many of you all want us to walk you through what we're doing in our offices that are listening right now? How would you like for us to do that? Right?
It's big.
Leave a comment. Leave a comment below. We might just do that. I'm not saying we will, but if there's enough people, right? Let me just say this. If 50 people.
You're throwing down the gauntlet?
If 50 people, right, say, I want to see that from this video, walk us through your office and show you what we're doing.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
We're not OSHA.
That would be... No. I'm just saying, I mean, we have all... It would just be like a major undertaking to do that. But it would be cool. We could do like a little fly through of what we're doing, all the gear.
Dude, we can do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We can do it.
I'd be down. I'd be down for that.
We can do it. We can walk
because
through
what we're trying to do, I mean, like, again, like what we want to...
50 people,
as
though,
you guys know.
I have to have 50 comments saying, I want to see a walkthrough.
We've got 3 already, so that's a start. That's a start.
And share. Share to your friends.
There you go. There you go. We're going to use this. We have no shame. We'll take the likes and the shares if we can get them any way we can. But that's actually something that, you know, among dentists and hygienists, there's been a lot of information that's been shared about what people are doing. Yeah. And I think that's the value of dentistry right now, having some of the social media side and all of that. Unfortunately, like, just as we close the show, because this review is
normally I'm not working on Friday, John, but tomorrow I am. So
we'll be there.
I got nachos and cheese waiting on me. So
yeah, exactly. It's time. But we'll be back with more great reviews. Go to Argon Dental USA. Yeah. Give them some love. Buy some face shields. You'll be happy. Tell them we sent you. And we'll be back next week for sure with some more great content. And like and share. Like us on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. That's what it's all about. Wes, it's been fun, man. Enjoy your nachos.
Yeah, thanks, man. So for John, I'm Wes, and we are the Dental Guys.